secured even if a second key is needed to access it. Figure 3, Piñata doors with hinges in place. Figure 4, Piñata door, key lock, and fusing pin. The use of hinges is not restricted to Piñata doors alone. Yes. While hinges, and then that's all it says. Yeah. Except that they're piñatas as well. Let me tell you about piñata doors. Blank. Period. The trick is to make the piñata look pretty big when it closes. So I asked, how many piñata doors is a piñata? And he said, 3 1/2, 5 2/3, and so on. So I said, well, what are these 3 1/2 piñata door sizes? He said. These are dimensions used in the assembly of piñatas. In English, a piñata is made up of 3 parts.
What are these parts?
There is the front of the piñata, 3 walls of wood that are held together with wood, and the back of the piñata.
Really?
The front part has to be straight and thin and make a kind of curve. So I said, alright, you know, we can only build the front part and the backs don't need to be right angled. Right angled like the sides. If you make 3 doors and put them apart like this, how far away from each door or each other are they? He didn't give a figure. I knew that the 2 walls would have to be very close together. So the 2 sides needed to be about 9-10 inches apart. We did a test with 3 door widths. Well, I said to him, this means...
Well, now we know how piñata doors work, I guess. I don't like
it. Oh no! Let me tell you about piñata doors, I said. When the mother of our child is at work, he doesn't want to open a piñata window in there.
What's a piñata window?
A mother
you
of
never said anything about this.
I didn't want to inform you of all of the secrets of the world. A mother of a child that was born yesterday and came yesterday. Why, it's impossible. Why,
yes.
she wants the piñata door to open. She gets up and says, if there is no piñata door, there's not room. I don't want a piñata door. And then her child says, no, not a piñata door. If there's a piñata door, the house is like a piñata window. I want my mother to open a piñata window. I want an easy piñata door. Why she opens a piñata window in it? Because she has no room to have room for the piñata. And her child says, no, not an easy piñata door. If there's no piñata door, the house is like a piñata window.
I know you said that.
And then the mother takes the child to the bank. And there she puts down her bank account and says, how much am I paying you, child? What do I owe you? How do I have money with which to pay the bill? Because, the child said, you've been a great help, I wish. And then it cuts off. So
what
now
the
there's
hell?
also piñata windows out there to worry about.
No. No. What? What was that? Oh, hey, loser, the acolyte.
I'm so glad we're learning about all these things.
I'm not learning anything. It makes no sense.
And this! Here! And this!
Oh no! Let me tell you about piñata doors. Period. Let me tell you about piñata doors and piñata door frames. I used to think piñata doors were just made of wire, and that made them cheap and simple. I did a lot of research and found that in order for your piñata door to lock, there has to have an electric circuit going through it, and the door must be a closed circuit to allow it to lock. There are no electric cables in my piñata, and I found many sources which tell me they could not be made better. I also learned about the different types of electrically insulated doors. I've heard others suggest using steel mesh in the piñata.
Reinforced piñatas.
But that is not really possible for an electrically insulated door, because if it came in contact with electricity, it would be destroyed. Another theory proposed was that the door frame was wired inside to electrically lock it, but this would probably block the door to an electrical circuit, and if the battery was broken, that would open up the door. These two theories seemed quite plausible for me because I thought of them as the same device. What I found was the different types were pretty close in shape. The one in use today in my home seems to be made of an aluminum panel and is approximately 1.5 inches wide. So now we also know that they can be made from aluminum and that some people put steel mesh in their piñata doors.
Oh, look, we found a rip-off dog. Look. Welcome to my paradise. Oh, it's hers.
Or his.
Oh, it's a sleazy dog. This one's paradise like yours. It's nice. Again. I couldn't heal me for an exorbitant price.
Here is, there's like a bunch of Korean in the middle of it. Let me tell you about piñata doors. Symbol, symbol, symbol. Symbol, symbol, symbol. They're even better. Symbol, symbol. They're the kind that are like a treasure chest, so they're quite special. I can feel it when they're opened, like it's really warm. This is so amazing. Again, remember, there's Korean in the middle. Let me see what this Korean says, actually.
Nobody knows what Korean is.
It says, striking an isolated sword. So I guess it's talking about piñatas. I don't know how they built them because they're so small. The door frames are so narrow that when the door swings back, they're all twisted together with each rotation. I love it when all these crazy doors come in at once. I thought this would be funny, and it's actually funny. And then there's their own mini piñata that can store their snacks or anything else you might want to keep in the fridge, so it's just perfect. This is the type of thing that makes others envy them all by giving it all of that.
Look at me.
Let me tell you about piñata doors. I'm pretty sure I've gotten myself killed multiple times while playing. I can be found on many social media and forums, such as Facebook, for instance, Reddit, Pinterest, and countless other online communities. When I get the idea of building a piñata door, my mind goes straight to Christmas and decorations. I look at pictures of every Christmas tree and think, why not have a Christmas piñata door?
Oh, no!
I like those designs more than anything. I knew I would like to build one, but there are a few things to consider. How will it look? What kind of light and decoration does it require? How long will it take? It's not like I only want piñata doors for Christmas. I'm going to add more if they come up in interest. What color do you think the front would be? As the piñata door would look like as the pinata door will look like, you can either want it to be decorated black, or if you are more comfortable with the plain white, go with it. Before you begin, it looks like this pinata door is going to be completely handmade, and made with a few simple components. However, I'll tell you what is included in the total amount, as I wanted something simple but functional. To create, apparently they really care about pinata doors. Let me tell you about pinata doors asterisks. They really are nothing more than a pair of doors that are attached to the sides. You push in one and the door swings open! Exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark.
So excited.
You can see how that door swings by the end of this photo. Click to zoom. There is obviously no photo. If that sounds familiar, it should. You remember the time you took a picture of an apple in a pie?
What is that?
It really happens this way. Don't worry, you'll never see a pumpkin next to your door in your life.
We got something.
What do you mean?
The chat.
Oh, in the chat. Piñata door. The door was in very poor condition. I tried to fix it, but didn't know that what I could do with it. The door is only 4 inches thick, and there is...
Only 4 inches.
And there is another one that is also 5. So the door to this house is actually 2 doors, each in one room. This is one of the most luxurious houses I've ever seen. I could hear everything going on the street on the porch, which I did not notice. I was afraid it would be quiet outside. I could see the dogs as I walked by, but could not hear. If you want to learn about how piñators work, I don't know. We'll offer one free. How to be a free-range piñata owner course in the fall at the California Academy of Science.
Oh no, what is this?
1125 South Van Ness Avenue, San Francisco, California.
What has science done?
On Saturday, October 2nd, from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m.
Pinatas.
This session covers all the basics, including the theory of basic piñata rotation, basic shapes, and basic building blocks of piñata designs. This course will be offered by our partner at the Academy, the Museum of Nature and Science, 1125 South Van Ness Avenue, San Francisco, California. The Museum of Natural History, www.museumofnature.org. The San Francisco Museum of Art, 4455 Telegraph Avenue, Suite F, San Francisco, California, 96104, and then it doesn't say where the other place is.
What is this sweet?
You may have heard it from those who watch television, or you may have heard it from your friends who are into science fairs, or dare I say it, what really is piñata? It starts with pi, a single unit of time, and piñata, the Greek letter pi, a unit of space. That is, the circumference of pi is 1 minute's circumference.
What does this have to do with pinatas?
I don't know. Pi may actually be the number of hours from the Roman Pisces, meaning a month. That same unit of time also has 3 other dimensions. The square root of 2, the angle of 180 degrees to its right. This is actually the number of minutes between 2 points called pi times 3. And circle's circumference on one of its sides. When you stand in front of a piñata and then try to twist it into 3 pieces, it will look something along the lines of this. And then obviously there's no picture. That's what pi times 3 looks like when you bend the pi to 3-degree position shown below. We'll soon see what the shape of pi times 3 truly is and why it works only if we can bend it at exactly 3 degrees angle. It turns out that pi doesn't really work like that at the point of intersection with the piñata or pi itself.
It's funny every time they mention piñatas.
Yes. Rorp. Rorp. Let me tell you about piñata doors that have been a big hit in our shop in the last few months. They're super easy and cheap to make. Make them here in a couple of days and then decorate them with stickers.
So don't see why. Oh. Ow. Also, multiple enemies are attacking and when that attack is likely to kill you, but it doesn't because RNG, the additional enemies just won't attack you, but we almost get killed. Sometimes.
Let me tell you about the piñata doors in my house. So how do you tell the difference between a piñata door and a real piñata door?
Oh no!
Let's take a look. The
This is
first
getting too real.
The first step is to be careful about where there are 2 open doors. You want them to be separated by at least 20 inches and have room between them. Also, be careful about making your piñata doors too large. Be sure that your doors have doors that are 3 inches wide, 2 inches tall, and 1 foot at most. I find that they tend to get too small. The other step is to mark what your door to be on in your house is. That's hard to read because that makes no sense as a sentence. If there is someone walking your family... What? If there is someone walking your family, you may want to mark what door you are going to be in. And also mark out your family room. Just like if you were buying a house. You want to mark what rooms your family will be able to enjoy. As long as you mark what you are going to be in, your piñata door is set. If the door breaks on your family room, then you may still keep it. If my door broke or somebody went through my house and cut my piñata doors, I would have to take care and repair them to make sure nobody breaks them. The last step is to have your piñata doors ready for cutting. That one was really hard to understand because like 3 of the sentences made no grammatical sense.
That's something in chat.
Yes, the theory of piñata rotation, one of the fundamentals.
That was wild.
Today, scientists confirmed the worst possible outcome. The massive asteroid will collide with Earth and vaporize all of its surface. And since no one knows what the final fate of this potentially habitable planet will be, scientists say there could be as much as 1.2 billion people who will be killed by it. But one scientist thinks the worst will be worse than this. And that is Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson, who revealed Sunday that the impact could kill all life in the solar system. And then he gets cut off. Let me tell you about Piñata doors. Nihiri Miyamoto on seeing the Piñata door. Who says the door would stop a car? My brother did it last week while in Japan to buy an engine. If the doors had come out, there would have been no way to stop the car that day. How can you deny that even that small miracle is a miracle? Yeah, it stops right where I said it stopped. Like, after that, it doesn't send any more text. You can see it show up on the screen now. Miyamoto on the miracle of a 3,000-mile drive in the car to China. A car in China does not. Explaining the theory of Piñata rotation.
How deep are we going with this?
Oh, the rabbit hole is endless, sir. Your brain's ready to explode?
Yes.
Don't you at least want to learn a little bit about Piñata rotation?
Not even a little bit.
Explaining the theory of Piñata rotation to the human eye is a challenge.
Goodbye.
It's also an interesting one. How does the Piñata relate to our understanding of the relationship between the gravitational field and gravity? Shin! This is important! Alright, I gotta kick him out of the house. This has been a great experience. We learned so much about Piñata today. And I gotta say, but yes, it is an important one. I will post my findings here in just a moment. But with that said, thank you guys for watching. See you again real soon.